o'clock on a Monday. Good morning to you. Glad you're with us for Second Cup. Welcome to 2 days after daylight saving time. How the hell did we get here? Why are we here? Why is
Let
it
me go back.
8 o'clock? It should be 7 o'clock.
I need a nap already.
How many of you should still be in bed? I'm so
Oh.
tired.
I complain about this every year, as though it's some kind of new concept. I know what happens. We fall back, we spring forward. I would love to have more daylight. It's great. Not great for us because we're going to bed around the time that the sun is still up. But it always just hits me like a ton of bricks.
I absolutely
We lose
hate
that
it.
hour, and you feel it going the Saturday going into Sunday, but then that Monday, it's just so tough.
Yeah, Mary, good morning to you. I'm still adjusting. I'm right there with you, my girl. This is one of those days where I feel like it's just easier to get through the day than it is to do anything else. You just have to survive today.
You can't be productive. You're just trying the best you can, and
Right.
that's where I'm at. Peter, thank you. You're trying to help me get through the day with compliments on the dress color. This is actually a Katie dress.
Oh,
Katie,
wow, it's nice.
living in through me. Wow, it's nice.
Melly says she hates it. I know, me too.
Oh.
Can we move on from daylight saving time? Like, I feel like it's
What
time.
would happen if we didn't do it?
Right.
So wait, the adjustment is the fall part, or is it this part?
I think it's the fall part.
The fall part is like
Fall
the fake
back. Honestly, I think this is how time is supposed to be.
right now.
Yeah. And
If we didn't do it,
if we didn't fall back, what would happen?
it would be dark.
Technically, the fall is standard time.
Oh, so this is
so
fake.
I'm wrong.
This is fake.
This
Oh.
is fake, so it gives people more daylight.
Yeah, time's a concept anyway.
Well, 100%. Okay. So then it would be dark early?
No, it would
Or
be
dark
lighter
early.
early.
Later
Well,
early,
so
dark
like
late.
early in the morning, it would be lighter if we kept it fall back, and it
Right.
would get darker earlier, which I
Oh.
like.
I mean, that's fine for me.
Yeah.
I guess those summer nights, you want them to be longer and you have daylight until 8 o'clock.
Kim
But right now, it
says,
sounds dumb.
I know. Tony says, I like the time right now. I like the right now time.
Crystal says, can we just split the difference and stop changing?
Seriously.
It's too much. I don't know.
Did you have a good weekend otherwise?
It was a pretty good weekend. My Saturday was It was okay.
Okay.
And then my Sunday was awesome. Have you heard of Kaylee's Kindness Foundation?
No.
So they had their mother-daughter brunch yesterday. It was really, really lovely. So it's a nonprofit. They give back, think like Make-A-Wish kind of, but locally for teen girls with cancer.
Oh, wow.
So they, do trips to Bills games and Sabres games, and they have a network of support for girls who are going through cancer. Ages 11 to 21 is their group that they have, and over the years they've lost a number of people, and they just come together to be that support group. Which is really awesome. So my friend's mom is on the board, and that's how we all ended up there. So my friends came, we brought all our moms, and it was a good time. 1 million basket raffles, and our table got upgraded.
Cool.
And this like part of the fundraiser. I won a facial.
From where?
From I think it's called like Elegant Aesthetics or something like that. It's on Chandler Street.
Oh, cool.
So we got to schedule that, but it was really fun. It was a really good event. It was also really fun to learn about the organization too. They did show like a really emotional video about like what these girls go through and
Yeah.
explain some of their journey. So it was good perspective to hear from these young women who are so well spoken and really going through it with grace. So it was good to learn from them.
Well, what a great event.
Yeah, and then I, went home with a couple of things.
Cool.
I'm that person that goes to events. I never win the door prize. I never win the raffle.
But you spend a ton of money.
But you spend a ton of money, and you're like, oh, at least I had a good time. But this time, I made out like a bandit. We got a whole bag for our table, and I got the facial, so that's awesome.
Tony says, I worked on the roof at Roswell, and to see the children going in was so heartbreaking.
Yeah.
It was a little bit warmer, Julie says. Yeah. Oh, and today is somebody's
Debbie.
birthday.
Happy birthday, Debbie.
Love that, Debbie.
Happy birthday. You're a Pisces.
How old are you?
Enjoy your day. At least for your birthday, we have some warmer weather, which is really, really nice. Aaron was showing the forecast all morning, and I was just so excited. Look at Saturday, you guys. 68 degrees. Like, when's the last time we saw that?
Oh, man. Saturday is going to be a really nice day. Sunday, maybe an idea, the home show. That is something that you can do inside. It's going to be really gross on Sunday. I was there over the weekend.
Oh, did you go?
I did. We went on Saturday. It was, if you're looking for something, if you're looking for a vendor or if you're looking for um, a place to kind of get ideas.
Mhm.
It was a great little hub. Hurdle Home Consignment was also there, which I thought was
Oh,
really
yeah.
cool. I like going there
That's a great
because they
spot.
have some really nice upscale consignment stuff. So, if you're looking for something maybe at a little bit of a discount, they're a good place to go.
I think that, the more options you have, the more you know, the better is the kind of
Yeah.
idea, especially with something like that. You got to get second, third opinions, get prices from everywhere. So I think the
Mhm.
home show is such a good idea to like get those options and see
Oh,
who's out
yeah.
there.
Lori says, I want to go get some outdoor porch furniture. So Target, we were saying, has some really good deals right now, or will have good deals in the next couple of days.
Mhm.
Excuse me. So, keep that in mind, though. I don't know. We ran a whole story this morning, and I was like, oh, this is an ad for Target.
Target. as some of
But
us
you
like
know
to
what?
call
Like,
it.
the seasons change at Target, and there's always something good to find.
Oh my gosh, yes.
That back left corner at Target. Do you
Yes.
know what I'm talking about? Every time like Christmas comes or Hanukkah comes, it's always changing. Back to school, it's
So there are two
spring.
parts of Target that change. When you first walk in, there's
Right.
that little like dollar section.
Love that one.
And that has like holiday goods and like little, knickknacks and things. And then if you go all the way to the back of the store, it was probably recently just like full of Valentine's Day candy
yeah.
and things like that. So it's probably now all of your spring stuff and Easter and Passover and St. Patrick's Day.
Tony says Big Lots, but a lot of the Big Lots closed around here. So that might be a thing of the past, Tony. Crystal says, I love the warmer weather, but the mud, hate it.
Hated it.
Have you seen? Okay, I have to tell you this. Saturday, I was out going to the gym. I leave for the gym early in the morning on Saturdays, and I was looking in the median by my house, and there was the fattest robin I've ever
Oh.
seen in my life, and that gave me such hope that
The
like
future is near.
better days are ahead. Oh man, like when this
I-
robin lays her eggs, you know that it's going to be game on.
Maybe she'll nest at your house.
Who knows? Hopefully not, but
Right?
we'll see.
I haven't taken Reese on like a longer extended walk, and we used to do it every single day. We haven't been on one of those in forever.
Yeah.
So I think today we're gonna do that. A nice walk. Hopefully the sun is shining. But as you mentioned, Crystal, those paws are gonna be muddy, which is so
Mhm.
annoying.
Mark, good morning. Need to clean my bikes now with the warmer weather. Lori says I haven't seen any robins yet. I'm telling you, this is one. I've heard the birds. Have not seen them until this past weekend, where I said, "Hey, Frobin, what's going on? Hey, Frob." That fat Robin, she's about to lay.
She's got her winter weight on.
Well, she also has some babies in her belly, I think. But I like the warmer weather. Mary says I don't like air conditioning.
Neither do I.
I
It's just-
love being cold.
Oh my gosh. I'm always cold. But I am looking forward to the warmer weather. Like my hands.
Mhm.
I think I have Raynaud's or whatever it's called. I've like self-diagnosed myself from Google. But like my fingers get numb no matter what. Like if I go outside, even just for a second, coming inside my hands like change color.
I'm pretty sure Leah has that.
I think Hannah Bueller has it too. Like I've
Oh
talked
my God, blast from the past.
I talked to
Buells.
my fellow female companions in the newsroom, and we're all absolutely freezing.
Kathy says I've seen some fat robins out there too. Where are you, Kathy?
Robins.
Love that. Sarah says we went to the coolest kids play area called Fun City
City.
Buffalo this weekend. Where is that?
Okay, keep. Tell us.
Interesting. Speaking of being cool, the reception for Kathy Hochul is ice cold. Yeah, hello. In a primary between Kathy Hochul and Lieutenant Governor Antonio Delgado, Kathy Hochul takes the cake.
But
No one knows who Delgado is, so what does that even say to you? I mean, everyone knows who Hochul is. Delgado, people don't even know who he is. Then the reality sets in for Kathy Hochul.
yeah,
Most people want somebody else as governor.
her favorability between 40 to 50%, job approval 46 to 48, but overall, only 34% of voters say they want to reelect Hochul.
Her job approval rating less than half. But again, when you put her up against Delgado, obviously she's going to win because Delgado's like a no-name here in New York. He doesn't even want to be his lieutenant governor, is what she says. But look, I mean, the one thing that I thought was missing from this brand new Siena College poll that just came out this morning is something that I thought was very important. And I'm kind of disappointed in Siena College, to be honest with you, because when we're talking about events that are happening across the state that affect all New Yorkers, the corrections officers strike
It's
is number one.
huge.
I genuinely don't understand why congestion pricing was the focus of their survey this past month. But when you consider in the last month what's been going on in New York, that would have been the first thing that I asked New Yorkers about, because I want to know what they think about the way Hochul has handled this, what they think about her dedication to law enforcement. I think all of those conversational topics are data points that could have been used in this survey.
I wonder if they pre-plan what they're going to talk about, which for a survey, and if you're polling people, it should be topical. It should be what's going on. But, maybe they started it before the strike started and just went with it and weren't able to pivot. But, I would love to hear what people think and to see those numbers reflected in the poll. But maybe the next time.
Look at this reality. 34% of voters say they would reelect her. That's of all the people who were surveyed. About a third said they would reelect her. 56%. 56%
Said someone else.
want somebody other than Hochul to be governor. Tony, good morning to you once again. Hochul's an absolute disgrace to New Yorkers. She knows the base is downstate, says Mark. Anita
Sarah
says lack of dedication to law enforcement.
Sarah says the fact that Delgado walked away speaks volumes to the people who have lost trust in her ability to lead.
Basically, it seems like Delgado wants to primary Hochul for governor. And if that's the case, I mean, he loses, obviously. But, a lot of people are kind of saying what it seems like a lot of the voters are saying here, echoing somebody who's been surveyed. Sarah, I'd vote for a brick at this point.
Sarah.
Shonda says, let her rot. Crystal says, sadly, most of these people won't go to the polls. Danielle, she needs to go. Anita, anybody else. Sarah, same. Kim, it's shameful not to back the blue. Mary, time for her to go. Lisa, time to go.
Megan don't want Cuomo back either. Well, Cuomo's trying to be the mayor of New York City now, so we'll see how that goes.
M on Twitter, good morning to you. I'm a former corrections officer in upstate New York. Wild what's going on. Kathy, anyone who gets elected into a government position will have their hands tied because of collective bargaining agreements and regulations. That and new upper union reps need to be elected. Tony says she's lost all credibility and honor after what she did the past month.
We've talked a lot about it. I mean, those conversations we've been having about the corrections officers have led to a lot of pressure on Hochul and a lot of people voicing their opinions on where she's been in all of this. And I think the lack of transparency that we've seen from the state ends up falling on her. And you want to hear from your governor. You want to hear that, she's hearing you and your concerns are being heard. But a lot of what we heard from her was, well, we don't know what the issues are. And, get back to work.
So I heard from a corrections officer that one comment has put her in such turmoil that I thought that was kind of interesting. Lori says, across the whole state, I can't believe she will ever get back in. Kathy, did they release the info? Kathy, funny that you asked that
Great question, Kathy.
And thank you for following up on that. The answer is no. And this is so typical of New York State. Every single time you're supposed to get information from them, they kick the can down the road or they just simply don't answer.
And I think I would rather hear a no at this point than to keep that can getting kicked down the road. And you said earlier, it's like an artificial deadline.
Right.
So it started back in August, and now they were supposed to get these documents, this information on March 7th. And now they're saying March 21st. And on March 21st, they're going to say April. And then in April, they're going to say May, and so on and so forth.
And it'll be almost a year at that point, which is insane. I mean, we're talking about what exactly is happening inside these state prisons. What are these corrections officers complaining about to the state? Obviously, we're seeing a number of people who've handed their resignation in within the last couple of days, complaining to the state about what these issues are. But why won't the state just release this information? Are there that many complaints where they need to be redacted in, such, I don't know, exuberance? Exuberance is the wrong word. In such large terms, I guess. I don't know. Like,
is there
what
that
needs to
much
be redacted?
that they need to get rid of? Or are they just not doing it? Are they not doing the work? Are they not trying to get you these documents? I don't know. It's unfortunate, though, because I think it would go a long way to just know.
Here's the thing. and I'm going to say this from a reporting standpoint, and I'm sure that it's the same thing for you. When something like this happens, it raises more questions and provides fewer answers.
Mhm.
As a result, you, as John Q. Public,
Mhm.
start to question the integrity and the transparency of the government. And as a reporter, as an investigative reporter, it is so important to keep pointing out those issues and poking holes in every story because you see what they want you to see,
Mm.
and what they don't want you to see, they're really good at keeping under wraps.
And it's not just as a reporter because it's our job to do that, but as a taxpayer, as someone who lives in New York State, and as someone who, is thinking about the election next year,
Mhm.
you want to be able to get the information you need to know from the state and the people that you elected where you live.
And this is public information. So,
It should be.
Governor Hochul was a preacher. She was literally up at the pulpit after Cuomo left in disgrace saying, I'm going to be transparent. And now here we are all these years later, and you can't get your hands on anything. It is,
Opaque.
yeah, dense. Yeah.
It's tough.
Transparency is so important, Crystal says. I mean, I could get off my soapbox now, and you know where I'm coming from. You know what I'm saying. Anita says New York State's only goal right now is to divide and try and conquer. I should also point out that Governor Hochul has gone around, to all the different networks, and she's promoting herself and, trying to promote New York and explain all the issues that are affecting New Yorkers. Not one of those national journalists, though, has asked her about the corrections officer strike. That's a side note. But I have asked her to do a one-on-one with me, and the answer is we're working on it. And there are crickets.
Yeah. I would love to watch that. I know all the Cubbies would love to watch this one-on-one between Ed and Hochul. But I think there's so many questions, not even just from the strike, but just
Period.
overall that need to be asked that don't get asked. And when we do go to these press conferences, when she does have media availability, it's a very short window when we're
Mhm.
allowed to ask her any off-topic questions. And you're in a room with a bunch of other people. You have no time to get these questions in. You come in really wanting these answers, and the odds you're going to get an answer are slim to none.
Well, and here's the other thing, too, and this is with any politician. They've all got their handlers saying, okay, last question. Okay, one last question. For if I'm going way back into the time machine and the way back when machine and giving you an idea about how government actually works in Buffalo, former Mayor Byron Brown had Mike DeGeorge as his handler, as his public relations person, and any time the mayor was being peppered with questions, he always was quick to jump in. Okay, last question. Okay, last question. And you're like, last question? I barely asked one.
And you never get the chance to be in the room with these people and ask them the real questions.
Yeah, it's a problem. So, not that I don't want to like make it seem like I'm anti-Governor Hochul. I think in just fairness, when we've done all of this work to try and get information and the state isn't providing it or the state isn't living up to its end of the bargain, then we've got a problem.
And I think especially when she is pitching herself as a candidate for governor when the election comes next year, we're going to have questions. Before people
Right.
go to the booth, before they go to the polls, they're going to want to know the answers to a lot of questions. So she's going to have that moment, if she wants to remain governor.
I like that. A live audio studio audience, Shonda is saying, for an interview with the governor. Yeah, I'm here for it. Let's see if that actually happens. Doubt it, but
I'm trying
who
to put
knows?
myself in her shoes a little bit. Like, I know, I'm sure it's not easy, right, to be governor. You inherit all these problems from your previous administration. You have a lot that you need to do. But I think I would want to err on the side of just being honest with the people.
right.
Wanting to be in those rooms, wanting to answer some of those questions. And she does select, bless you. She does sometimes do availability. She does these things I've seen on her YouTube page where like people send questions in and she'll answer them.
Yeah, but when that's done that way, it's like
Well, they cherry pick the questions.
exactly right. Here's the other thing. She's a Western New Yorker, She's a
from
Buffalo girl.
here.
right? And so you hope to have that kind of person with Buffalo values in the governor's mansion. And for all intents and purposes, she's our girl, she's our lady, she's our woman. But the focus can't just be downstate. The focus has to be all of New York. And I
Elizabeth
think
says, I'm always pro females in power. I think it shows little girls they can do anything, but she's a joke. She isn't a good one. I'm hoping we get some good candidates for governor.
interesting. Doesn't care about this area is what Lisa says. All right, put her to task, Ed. It's time. You guys are so funny. Anita says you would think Buffalo would have some leverage, and that's kind of my point, right? Like she knows me. I know, like she knows me, and she knows Buffalo. She knows the reporters here. She knows Dave McKinley from Channel 2.
Right.
She knows, whomever from Channel 4. Like, she knows us. But we haven't seen her in a long time up here.
And when we do see her, again, it's for a specific reason. And we are very limited in what we can ask in the time that we get with her.
Interesting. And, we've known her family for years, too. Like Bill. Bill's a great guy. Bill Hochul, the former U.S. Attorney General, former U.S. Attorney here in Western New York for the Western District. And accessible, easy to talk to, in the community. Bill obviously has since retired and stepped down. But you have that history here in Western New York.
Yeah. And you just want to see her represent us,
Right.
and bring our issues to the forefront, and talk with us,
MB, good morning. I think a big part of the reason she was elected is she got support from Western New York because she came from here and we thought she'd remember us.
And again, I know it's a big job. Being governor can't be easy. New York is a big, very influential state. She's probably got voices coming either end. Oh, you got to say this or you can't do this. I don't envy her position, but a lot of people want to see her do it differently. And if she does get a chance to do it again,
What changes?
yeah.
Mary says it's like she can't talk unless someone tells her what to say. I just want to, I think with any politician, I want to hear something authentic. I want to hear
Be
a genuine
real.
response. And I want you to be true to your word. It's that simple. Don't tell me what you think I want to hear. Tell me the truth. You guys are all so funny.
Ed for governor. Vote for Ed.
This is hysterical.
I'm Ed's press secretary. We don't have time for this.
One question. One more question.
One question.
Everyone good? Everyone good?
I love it. Shonda said she's being compensated for it. You're right, taxpayer dollars. But while we're talking about dollars, can we talk about Josh Allen for a
Yes,
second?
let's talk about that mega money.
$250 million. That's a B, not an M. $250 million is what Josh is guaranteed to make through 2030. You said earlier he's getting paid $100 a minute.
That's insane. Can you imagine making that kind of money? And then he's like,
No.
oh, I'm not going to take the $50 extra million.
He's so humble.
Right.
And he is. He genuinely is a humble guy. I know he is. But we talked about it. Basically, his value is high. He's
Right.
the MVP. He's that guy. I mean, he does everything he needs to do. He set all these records last year. So you would think he would get the biggest payday and become the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. But he's still in second place, tied with a couple other quarterbacks.
What would you do with a mere $1 million, let alone 250 million?
I have no idea. He does have a wedding to pay for. We know that's going to be hopefully very extravagant. Hopefully we get like a Vogue issue. I hope that they do something.
Wouldn't that be so cool? Like People Magazine shooting the wedding or something.
Something.
Connie
Channel
saying,
7.
Yeah, hello.
Exclusive feature of Haley and Josh's wedding.
Ned Ranch, a fly on the wall there.
Ned Ranch. Ned Ranch for governor.
Connie says he still isn't the highest paid QB.
And that's my point. So the highest paid quarterback is Dak Prescott with the Cowboys, and then Josh is tied with Joe Burrow, the guy from the Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence, and one other quarterback, I forget, and then Tua Tagovailoa is right under him. So the idea is he took a team-friendly deal, so he takes a little less money, which at this point,
What's the extra 50 mil?
right.
Couple extra pistachios somewhere.
Yeah, so then the team has that extra money to pay other players. Obviously, other players that have been retained by the team are Khalil Shakir, Greg Rousseau got $80 million, the long snapper Reed Ferguson, and then they let Von Miller go, which
Whatever.
about time.
Bye. Bye, Vonnie.
35 years old. He contributed to the team, I think, more as a leader than, his on-the-field presence. But we got to get something done. We got to make some changes, and I don't think you do anything without Josh Allen. What is this? Oh, this is the number of team. This is
Can
the
you make it bigger?
quarterbacks. I can't see that. There he is. Okay, yeah. So Dak Prescott is number one at $60 million. The total value is 240. So Josh's overall technically is more, but he's guaranteed that 250. And then what is that annually? He gets 55 million.
I guess so.
Yeah.
UI.
Yeah, average per year.
Average per year. And then so he's with Joe Burrow, Trevor Lawrence, and then Jordan Love with the Packers. So they're all tied for second place, those 4 quarterbacks, including Josh. And then under him is Tua Tagovailoa. M from Twitter saying, I'd rather that money in Josh's pocket than Terry's pocket.
Fair enough.
You know, and we love Josh Allen, you know. So people were commenting on our original Facebook post saying, he better bring a Super Bowl if he's getting paid that much money. No athlete deserves to make that kind of money.
Yeah, but I don't think that's fair to put that all on him.
I know, but he's worth it. I think he's worth it. All these athletes are being overpaid. Like, they're all getting gobs of money and
Right.
cash, and they've got these beautiful houses and cars and all these things. If someone deserves it, it's Josh.
Sure, I agree, and he does such good for our community as well. You know, he wants to win. He's hungry. He wants the team to build around him, which is awesome. But let's do it. I mean, I really have I struggle with that. Like, it's yes, we're paying him a lot of money. We're paying everyone a lot of money.
All right.
But it can't just be Josh to get us there. I mean, he takes on the team as it is.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like, he's a running back. He will literally catch the ball sometimes.
Yeah,
you know,
he's throwing the ball to himself and throwing it
Right.
to Amari Cooper and doing all this. And it's so tough when you think about the offseason because you're still thinking about what happened last season, and it just lingers in the back of your mind. And he hasn't been able to do it yet. And like you said, he can't do it by himself.
Right.
And is the money going to help him do it? Who knows?
Russ would say, "Money's
gotta
not a motivator, Edward."
Well, it should be $250 million, $250 million. And like you were
What'd I
mentioning,
say, yes, it is.
what do you do with that money?
Couple extra pistachios, man. I'm telling you. I mean, I don't even know. I can't even fathom what that looks like.
In
I
a
don't
bank
know.
account.
But you know what's so cool? Like, he's the guy, Josh Allen, who didn't get any deals, who had a hard time finding a
Yeah.
job out of high school.
Went to Wyoming.
Right. And then, like, even getting an NFL recruiter to notice him was hard. And to see that he is successful in every sense of the word, not only like financially, but Buffalo successful. Do you know what I mean? Like, he is our guy. We don't want to lose him.
Yeah, I look at the other quarterbacks in the NFL. I'm a big football fan, so I like a lot of these guys, but I don't know. I feel like we've got the best guy.
Yeah.
I know that other cities, other areas, they love their quarterback, they love their guy, but I can't imagine having anyone but Josh as the leader, right? That guy in the locker room. It seems like they've got it together. They've got the right culture. They figured that out. They just have to put all the pieces together. And I want to see the Bills make a big move, get a player, get a huge receiver or a defensive guy, do something so that this time next year, we're celebrating that we have the Lombardi Trophy.
Connie says, put it away for when you retire. Girl, he's not worrying about retirement. He got plenty. He's like, oh, my 401k. He's like, what's
Right.
that?
Never
You
heard
don't
of
need
that.
a 401k because he already got the 250 million.
Literally. I'm trying to think about, like, I would buy so much makeup. I think I'd buy a couple of, like, properties. I would maybe, like, a little, like, villa in Greece. On Mykonos.
401k. He's like 250M.
Right.
What a joke.
Ugh. I would
Must
be
be
on the beach. I would
nice.
own, but the British Virgin Islands, you know how, like, rich people just
Oh my
get
God,
one of
you'd
the
be like that
islands
woman
out.
in Pakistan right
Yeah,
now.
oh my gosh, I need
Mind your business.
I need 200 or more. Do you guys know who we're talking about?
I love her.
I love this one. Her name is Onija, I believe. There's this woman who went to Pakistan to marry this man. Allegedly, and his parents were like, you're not going to marry our son. So she flew out there. She's from New York, and she was just stuck in Pakistan for a while. But then the people kind of, like, adopted her, and she became, like, an advocate for infrastructure and for better, she was advocating for money for Pakistan. It was just a wild saga. And then I think she was like, okay, I'm ready to go home. And then she got stuck in Dubai, and she was smoking a cigarette in Dubai and got arrested. So she might still be there. But either way, she is the energy that I would have. I want all that money or more.
Sarah, I'd never cook or clean again. Thank you.
Couldn't catch me. Oh
I
my
don't
gosh.
cook, I don't clean, but let me tell you how I got this ring. Have a great day.
Bye, guys.